we always get into a situation where this happens every year because somebody is always up every year. And we get into the situation where we argue about what a QB is worth. Should a QB get this amount of money that he's going to get? And what I want to do with this time with you, Rod, is try to tell people and explain why we just got to recalibrate what this even means at this point. Like, it's so much money for quarterbacks specifically. Let's just keep it a bean. This is for quarterbacks. Everybody else is separate. There is a $30 million gap between quarterbacks and wide receivers. You feel me? There's a $20 million gap between quarterbacks and edge rushers, right? There's still a gap. But we got to just accept that 55, 57, 60 million, it's just what it is, bro. So the reason why I'm bringing this up, obviously, because Brock Purdy just signed his contract. I what was the 260 million or
It's
something like that?
265 million and then 181 million guaranteed.
Bum. So that's what matters. The 261, that's Fugazi. That's a Fugazi. You feel me? Shout out. Shout out to my man on Wolf of Wall Street, dog. But the 181, the guaranteed is what matters, right? And I'm going to go ahead and this all traces back to two people. One person that I love to shit on. The other person I feel bad, but we have to bring him up too. Person A, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence got $200 million guaranteed. That changed everything. That changed everything. Once he got that money, it was fire. It was bang, bang, bang for every quarterback that is a starter on in the NFL. You could not go back to your quarterback in negotiations and say no. Because all they're going to do is say, Trevor Lawrence got 200.
That's all they got to do.
That's all they got to do. Trevor got 200. What are we talking about? Another person, and this hurts, Tua. People are going to say, Tua got 167. What are you talking about? And the reason why Tua got what he got is partially because of what Trevor got. And I think what Tua got was after Trevor or before Trevor?
I think Tua might have been before Trevor, but
I think he would have, because I don't think he would have. He wouldn't have took less than Trevor. So I think he was before Trevor.
Yeah,
but even then, right? Like once Trevor got $200 million, it broke everything. It broke everything. This is what happened with Gabe Davis when the Jaguars, and again, it's the Jaguars. They keep breaking the system. The Jaguars gave Gabe Davis $20 million. That broke everything. So when you see Brock Purdy get $53 million a year on average, you got to eat that. And as fans, we have to recalibrate this, right? Like we have to accept this. This is the new normal. Like as a capitalist, I want him to get everything he can get. I'm a capitalist. I want a free market, dog. Get whatever somebody's willing to get you. But as a football fan, I know what this means. I'm living it, bro. My quarterback's Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is not worth $60 million a year. 49er fans, you're fucked. This is the name of the game, baby. This is the name of the game. Go ahead.
Know what's funny? I can't really dig into the 49ers fans that much because my team did the same thing, right? Like, it's funny. The quarterback position, Herbie, is the only position in football where you can get paid a nice chunk of change because of how everybody else makes you look, right? You look at receivers, you look at defensive players, you look at running backs, every skill position, these guys have to make sure they come play after play, put great tape out there, all that, just to make whatever they're going to make, whatever cap they have in their respective groups. But quarterback Herbie, Trevor Lawrence got paid. Fucking Brock Purdy just got paid, and these guys are getting Herbie. It's here's the thing about the NFL, and whether we like it or not, teams are looking for two things when it comes to quarterbacks. They're either looking for the superstar, which only a handful of teams have, or they're looking for a safe bet guy who's like stable. They're looking for stability at the position, at the cost of never potentially anything. right? And a lot of teams are starting to go this route, Herbie, because at the end of the day, nobody wants to be in complete quarterback hell. Teams choose quarterback purgatory over quarterback hell, right? And unfortunately, this is the way it's gonna go, right? Because people will argue like, "Damn, man, how could they pay Purdy all that money?" Let me tell you something, Herbie. I am not shocked in the slightest that the 49ers paid Brock Purdy what they paid him. You want to know why? Because he single-handedly saved them from one of the all-time sins
All
that
time.
can commit. They completely flubbed on a draft pick on the third overall pick at quarterback. Trade Lance, Herbie. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It's a fart in the wind because Brock Purdy came in, and regardless of how you feel about him, Herbie, he got to a Super Bowl with the Niners, Herbie. And people will say, "Well, Jimmy G got to a Super Bowl with the Niners." True, but you know what the Niners did after they saw Jimmy G Super Bowl? They was like, "Nah, bro, they conspired to get rid of this nigga." You know what I'm saying? Whereas with Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan at the very least feels like he has trust in him. Like Brock Purdy saved Kyle Shanahan. He saved
Saved him. Like
epic, epic
you
fail.
you made an incredible point. I never even put two and two together. Like I heard somebody else say that, but hearing you say it just crystallize it. They didn't pay Brock Purdy because they think he's great. They paid Brock Purdy because they saved all their asses. Like nobody even thinks about Trey Lance. That's how
Nope.
successful Brock Purdy has been. And he did the unthinkable. He made people forget about a quarterback draft bust.
Yep.
Of course you earned your money, right? And there's another reason, right? And I like that you brought up Jimmy G because that gives me a point to transition over to this point. There's so many reasons why these guys get paid. Like I know, I know this for a fact. If I put Truth Serum in Kyle Shanahan, and Kyle Shanahan said, "Bro, what's your honest assessment of Brock Purdy?" Kyle Shanahan said, "Yeah, he's all right. He's good. He's good." He will never say he's elite. He's never going to say he's top five if you give him Truth Serum.
Nope.
But why are you giving him top five elite money? Because you have to. Like, you can't let Brock Purdy walk. You got a locker room you still have to go into, dog.
Mm-hmm.
There's people who want Brock Purdy to get their money, and you have to do good faith by Brock Purdy, because that means they have to believe you'll do good faith by them as well. So there's all of these aspects and all of these outside pressures to give these quarterbacks money beyond their talent. Because you got to keep 51 other dudes happy who built an infatuation with that person that they actually like. You could let Jimmy G walk, who went to the Super Bowl, because your locker room think he was ass too. That's easy.
Listen, man, you get pass attempts in a championship game. God damn. That
That's
tells everything.
easy. You could let Jimmy G walk. They all thought he was trash too. That's nothing. You can't let somebody walk that they actually like and believe in. Whether he's great or not is irrelevant at that point. And like you said, it's about, we'd rather be in purgatory than be in hell. The problem is that when you're in purgatory, I'll take this back. You would rather be in purgatory too, because when you're in purgatory, your fans start to turn on the quarterback too.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got that fan support that you didn't have initially when you gave that contract at first. So it'll be easier to walk away from this person. Why? That's why the guaranteed is what matters, not the contract. The total guarantees is what matter, right? So there's a lot of chess and a lot of outside forces and all kinds of reasons why people get this contract. And hold on, we got some. Oh, hey man,
My homie Troll.
Dro, what
What's
up? What up? What up, baby? What's
good,
going
bro?
on, man?
What's
Ain't no
good?
QB there to replace. Facts, right? But you say that, right? You say that. But there was no QB to replace Tony Romo. He got replaced. They just drafted a QB. There was no QB to replace Josh Rosen. And then they got the number one pick and they got rid of him with Kyler Murray, right? There's always a QB to replace you if they feel like they want to replace you or they feel like they have to replace you. They don't have to replace Brock Purdy because he's good enough to warrant the contract. So you're going to get your contract. Now, this is why it is so important to win on a rookie contract. because there's only 4 dudes, maybe 5, that can still be elite when they get the contract.
Yep.
Josh, Lamar, Pat, Joe. That's the list of dudes who's elite. And then you got the guys like I'm sorry, I can't say that. We gotta bump this dude out of that class, man. Get that has been Justin Herbert out of here, man. Get that guy out of here, man. Get that guy out of here, man. That's it. That's it. That's it. Those are the guys you could give $250 million to, $55 million a year, 56, 57, $60 million a year that can carry the load and keep it pushing, regardless who is on the team. The list is so short. The problem is that you got to pay a bunch of dudes who are not that good that kind of money, dog. Think about this, and I have the list, so let's go ahead and look at it right now, so everybody can see. This is the on average highest paid quarterbacks in the league. Number one, Dak Prescott at $60 million. Then it's Joe
Damn.
Burrow. Then it's Josh. Then it's Jordan Love. Then it's Trevor Lawrence at number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with $55 million a year, tied with Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. He's tied with them on average yearly salary, dog. Tua, Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson makes less money than Trevor Lawrence, dog. You're right. I agree, man. Round of applause for Dro, man. Yes, man. I concur. I concur. So, based off of this list, Brock Purdy is right above Jared Goff. He's 7th in the list on average contract per year, $53 million a year. And this is why we got to recalibrate this stuff. None of this stuff matters.
Yep.
I look the numbers up. Guys, if y'all want to go ahead and put in the chat, what do you think the average salary was for quarterbacks for the 2020 season?
Just
I'll
5
say
years.
it. Just 5 years ago, the average salary for quarterbacks in the 2020 season was $30 million. That means it's going up $30 million in 5 years, dog. It's gone up at least $25 million in 5 years, bro. 5 years from now, there's going to be a quarterback making $80 million. All of this shit does not matter. Don't worry about what your quarterback gets, bro. 2 years from now, it's going to feel like chump change. Patrick Mahomes got $500 million. 2 years later, bro, he was the 13th paid quarterback, bro.
Yep.
It took 2 years for him to go to number 1 from 13th. That's just what it is, dog.
And you know what, Herbie? The thing that gets me about this too, Herbie, I guess what kills everybody about all these contracts is right, like, because of the way the market is shifting, the way the market keeps increasing, the market value for quarterbacks. If the teams feel like, indebted, they feel like they have to pay these guys, Herbie. But here's the drawback, right? You pay a guy like Purdy, you pay a guy like Trevor, and you don't have money to pay everybody else. So now, this is where it goes back to the point I made in the very beginning, to where quarterbacks are the only position where you can get paid for how everybody else helped make you look. There's not going to be in everybody else for Brock Purdy, Herbie. There's not going to be in everybody else. Soon for Tua, there's not going to be in everybody else. At some point for Trevor, even with the people who Trevor has, he'd be looking sorry. So
and this is where, and ultimately, before we can move on to the Caleb story. But ultimately, the real crux, and I'm not gonna say this is an issue because it's only an issue if you're a fan, because you're biased, you're selfish, you want money for the other teams, blah, 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 blah. And it's about what you think somebody deserves. Whatever somebody's willing to pay, somebody is what they deserve. That's just the reality of the situation. This is America. This is a capitalist country. This is how capitalism works. But the real issue is that there is backup money, there is bridge quarterback money, and then there's elite money. There's no, he all right. He my dude, but he all right. I don't really think he elite. He all right. There's none of that. There's no slot for that. And that's the problem. Like, leave the elite guys with the elite guys. Only 5 people should be making $55 million. Dak, oh my God, I almost threw up. My football guys, strike me down now.
Hey, man,
strike me down now. Please strike me down through this concrete walls. Zeus, send every thunderbolt you got. Oh my God. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. That should be the 55 and up club, bruh. Everybody else should be around $40 million, 42. But there is no slot for that. When you give Trevor Lawrence $200 million, there's no slot for that anymore. Because everybody could go to the office and say, bruh, you know I'm better than him. Like, what were you talking about? and you as a GM got to be like, damn, you know what, bruh? All right, bruh. Yeah, bro. He threw 4 picks in the playoff game, bro. Like, you better than him, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so because of certain teams that just don't care, they ruin it for everybody. Again, there's no man. We got this slot for you, which is right above bridge, under elite. Nah, bro. It's either if you're above bridge, then you're elite money.
True Blazer in the building.
I heard an interesting fact today. Mr. Irrelevant is the only QB from his class with his original team that speaks to quarterbacking today, and that is a goddamn shame.
That's crazy.
That is a goddamn shame, man. So with that, man, true, man, appreciate that because that gives us the opportunity to transition.